And I'm going to be making use of just the medium-sized dowels. And I also got lace from Walmart. I'm going to be making use of leftover wood, 2 pieces of wood that I have. I'm going to be painting one white. I'm also going to be painting the dowels white. I left some part at the bottom because that's where I'm going to be gluing to the wood. This is the second wood that was not painted, and then I located the middle and drew a line. I'm using a protractor to locate my angles for accuracy. The next thing will be to draw out the lines, coming from the bottom and connecting them to the dots that we just made. If you're new to my channel, it's so great to have you here. Now don't forget to click on the subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of my latest videos. The line in the middle is not part of it, but it is going to help out in the placement of the dowels. I'm going to be taking the lace, folding it into 2 just to get the middle part. And then I'm going to spread it on the board, making sure that the middle part aligns with the line in the middle that's on the board. And I'm going to be holding it down with thumbtacks. I'm doing this to make sure that the lace stays in place while I work. These are the dowels that I painted, and I'm going to be laying them on top of the lines that I made on the board. This is what the dowels should look like after it's been placed on the lines, and this one at the left bottom looks bigger than the rest of them because it was mixed up with the other dowels and I already painted it, so I just left it that way. I'm going to be using wood glue to attach all of the dowels to the board. I'm also going to be using a hot glue gun just to make sure that I restrict the movement of the dowels while I work. I know you guys cannot see it clearly, but I am following the lines that I made earlier on the board. I did the same thing for all of the dowels. When I was done, I went around again with wood glue, and this time around giving it a generous amount on the sides of each of the dowels that are connected to the board. When I finished applying the wood glue, I left it overnight to dry so that the glue can set properly. These are Dollar Tree trays that I'm going to be using, and I will use just the outer edges. This is how I'm going to be using the trays for the design, but then the lace that I bought is kind of short, and this is only for the lower side. So I looked for the sides that have extra material, and then I cut it out, and I will add it to the side that's short. I got the lace material that stretches, which I love, but then after stretching it, it's still going to leave an open space. So the part that I cut out is what I'm going to be attaching so that I can cover up the open space. I ran into this problem because I got a yard and some extra, so I'd recommend that you get 2 yards or 2.5 yards, because that way you get to avoid this process altogether. Now that that is done, I'm going to make sure that it's okay before I proceed. The next step was to use hot glue to attach the lace to the dowels. The next thing will be to attach the lace to the trays. I'm using a hot glue gun for this, and because it's really hot, you have to be careful and wait for about 10 seconds before tucking in the lace inside the tray from the bottom. This lace material is so good for this because even when the temperature of the glue is not so hot, it still holds up firmly. Now to connect the next piece, we're going to be putting a dab of glue at the tip of the dowel to glue the lace together with the dowel like we did for the first one. and then attaching the both pieces of the tray together. And here I'm just trying to gauge and make sure that they stay together well, and I'm holding it down with thumbtacks. This is not permanent. I'm still going to go around with nail, but the thumbtacks is just to hold it down so that I can make it easy for myself to attach the lace to the trays. I found out that it's better to apply the glue in front of the tray and then lifting up the tray and pulling the lace behind, and then using your hands to attach the lace to the tray. And remember, wait for 10 seconds for the glue to cool down before doing this. And then I trimmed off the excess material. This pointy tip that's showing here, I trimmed it off with a pair of scissors. I repeated the same step throughout all of the design, and when I was done, I replaced all the thumbtacks with nails. I used screw nails, and this holds the trays and the dowels together firmly. To cover up the nail head, I'm going to be using gems. And then to cover up the rough edges, I'm going to be using silver beads. As I was doing this, I later decided to just make a design with the silver beads. This is what it looks like. And now I'm going to be using linings and gluing them all around the design, starting from the board in the middle. I'm gluing down the lighting in such a way that just the bulbs would show to give it a better lighting effect. After I was done gluing the lights in front of the board, I turned the whole design over, and this is the back of the design. And all I'm doing here is gluing the lights inside the tray at the back of the design. To mount it on the wall, you can use hooks or command strips. When I was getting mine, I got the command strip that can take up to 16 pounds of weight. I doubled it. It's a little bit too much, but I prefer to do it this way. Remember the board that I painted white earlier? I turned the whole design over and glued it to the front. This is optional. These are LED meteor lightings that I had that I wanted to add to the design. I glued the meteor lightings to the lace in between each and every one of the dowels. Like I said, I have this at home, so I decided to just add it to the design. This headboard design gives the room a more airy and refreshing look. To make it easy for me, I'm going to be extending the length of the lighting using this extension cable that I got from the Dollar Tree. This is a queen size bed and the headboard fits perfectly. And the way the headboard spreads out and it's so large, it can also probably take even a king size bed. I have the option of having just one lighting on or both lightings on. And whichever of the lightings I use, it's still pretty. It is amazing to see how this was so simple and inexpensive to make. Thank you so much for watching. I have other videos linked in the description box below to check them out, and don't forget to click on the subscribe button.